dude, you're nuts. Like, I have no idea what you're saying, and this is so complicated. Throwing shade.
Throwing shade everywhere. You're always the bad guy. You make a call, and you're always wrong.
We focus on a lot of things but winning. That was not a priority. Rylan, you've had 2 insanely athletic and handsome brothers. Tell me about them. I've never gotten a technical.
Never gotten technical. I need one soon.
That's pretty good.
I need one soon.
I need one soon.
Yeah, I know you're heating up for one. Today's podcast is sponsored by Lucky Bull Grill. All right, first question of the night. Should college and WNBA hoops be lowered to 9 feet in order to get more fan engagement?
Well, first off, my name is Matt Enloe, Coach Enloe. Thanks for the introduction. Cavegirl head Cavegirl basketball coach.
He has never watched the podcast before.
I have not. I've been on one.
Ouch.
I think it'd be awesome. 9-foot goals. Throwing alley-oops those girls, I think it'd be exciting, kind of like softball. It's kind of a different game than baseball, and I think that's why they get so many views. I think that's kind of why WNBA doesn't have as many views as possible, or as many views as the NBA, because it's the same sport, and we know the boys are usually faster and jump higher. I think it changes the game up a little bit. I think it'd make it more exciting.
Okay, very good, very good. All right, guys, thanks for tuning into the podcast. My name's Trey Gonzales, and I'm here with the already introduced Coach Matt Enloe, head coach of the Carlsbad Cavegirls basketball team, and then assistant coach Rylan Gonsalez, also of the Cavegirl basketball team. So, all right, so let's go ahead and get into it. There has been more viewership in women's basketball over the last 3 to 5 years, even without the goal change. Why do you think that is?
I would say social media is a big deal. Like, now everything is put on TikToks and little clips and reels and different things like that it exposes everybody to them a lot more. Like, you see Caitlin Clark, she she shushed the crowd and she made them all go quiet because they were like, oh, she's overrated, and you're seeing all these things and you're like, dang, I gotta watch and see if she's actually the real deal. And so or you see that coach Kim Mulkey?
Yeah.
All of her little outfits that she wears and stuff. I have my girls, Coach G, you gonna start wearing that stuff? I'm like, chill out. This is high school basketball,
Right.
But they're shown a lot more, so people want to watch it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right, so the NIL has become a large part of college sports, and part of that is a reason why girls work harder, things like that. But another thing it introduces is more brand exposure, right? So we got a TikTok, we got an Instagram, we got to post a lot. Do your girls go hard on social media? Not necessarily for that reason, but do they? What is the atmosphere like around social media?
Well, about a week ago, I remember going to practice, and 2 girls, I think it was Abby and Jazz, were doing this TikTok challenge, and it took them like an hour and a half to do this challenge. Dribbling between legs, shooting it, both of them making it. And I see it all over TikToks, and it's just funny how those girls are so excited about doing it and trying to get those views. It's funny, and they're all over TikTok all the time.
So was it actually drills that could help them?
Absolutely not.
No.
It was cool.
There was no
cool
benefits for the team at all.
No, it looked cool, but no benefits at all.
Okay, very good. All right, so the boys team has team shoes that they wear at every game. We don't for girls. Why is that?
A couple things. I remember when I played, the shoes we got were rough, and they're always digging in my heels, and they're just very uncomfortable. And I try to pick and choose my battles. Some girls like high tops, some like low tops, and I'd feel bad if a girl got hurt, me forcing them to wear a certain shoe. I know they like their own shoes. There's all kinds of brands out there. The color stuff's kind of in style now, so I think it's cool. They kind of pick their own shoes and stuff. But yeah, more safety thing and kind of pick and choose my battles.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right, guys, something that I wanted to mention, today's podcast is sponsored by Lucky Bull Grill. We're upstairs here at the Lucky Bull Grill, but if you're looking for some great food, come on down here in Carlsbad, New Mexico. All right, so growing up in Carlsbad, Rylan, playing basketball at the high school, who were some of the players around you that helped you kind of grow into who you are today maybe, or even just being more interested in basketball in the next level?
I would say the player that I really looked up to, and I think pretty much anybody who ever watched her looked up to her, was Taylor Edmondson. I mean, you'd go and you'd see her and you're like, holy cow, she's doing all these things. She's got these great handles and she's going to the hole and she's got most of the points, and she was having fun the entire time. So I was like, dang, she makes the game look fun and she's a beast.
Yeah.
So it's like, I would love to be just like her, or at least half the player she was, and work to be just like her, and maybe someday have somebody look up to me like that.
Sure. No, absolutely. What about you, Coach?
I don't know if I actually looked up to anybody growing up. Basketball was kind of rough growing up. I think they lost a lot of games, but we did.
Throwing shade
Everywhere. But the people I kind of want to give a shout out is like kind of my best friends growing up. When we started playing basketball in 5th grade, and that's who really became my best friends because we played so many games. AAU traveled so much, and they became my best friends there. And then they're some of my best friends today. So like Andy Christopherson, Austin Miller, Chase Naheda, Chris Cerny. So those are still some of my best friends today. So I give a lot of credit to basketball and bringing us together and sharing that sport together.
But not a lot of wins.
Not a lot of wins. Not a lot of wins.
Good time.
We share a lot of stuff, but not a lot of wins.
We focus on a lot of things, but winning. That was not a priority. Okay. All right. So coaching basketball for girls, there's some difficulties to that just around the sport in general, right? You're a male coach coaching females. What are the difficulties of that, and how do you make sure that everything basically stays smooth?
Yeah, the biggest thing is like supervision locker rooms. Obviously, I'm not going to go in there. Coach G does a good job supervising that. But that's the biggest challenge. Honestly, when I first got the job, I thought there was going to be more challenges. But I've had so many great girls come through the program, and I haven't really had too much drama. I'm very lucky to no drama. So there's not too many challenges besides supervision. That's a tough part. But other than that, it's been clear selling for a long time.
Right. How do you implement things on the road to make sure that, there's nothing that does happen after curfew or something like that? What are some of do you guys put tape on the doors? Do you put tape on the doors?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. So walk me through some of the things you guys, walk me through a room check on the road for girls basketball.
Honestly, I go, I knock on the door. Usually they're prepared for it. They know when we're going to come for room checks. I mean, we normally don't get to the hotels until super late anyways. So it's like, okay, get to your rooms. We're about to go do room checks. It's pretty immediate. It's not like we're there just hanging out for a while. But, I go, I knock on the door. They always, come on in, whatever. And I just walk in. Everybody here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And I check the closets. And it's more of like just to be like funny, and they laugh about it. But I mean, it's borderline serious,
Oh, yeah,
like
you have to be.
You gotta just make sure that, and they would go, oh, that's Coach G, come on, we just got here and whatever. But it's like, no, seriously, all right, I got my tape. Like, they can see the tape. I'm taping you in. And I've even, they've shown me videos where they've, videoed me taping them in through the peephole. But, I mean, they know that that's what it is. And they all have, they can all message me if they need something at night. I'm like, don't leave. If the tape's broken, you're leaving. And they know we're serious.
What is the consequence of breaking the tape?
Well, we tell them, and it hasn't happened yet, but their parents have to come get them right now.
Okay.
The tape's broken, any reason, that's not acceptable, and their parents are coming to come get them, and they're done. They're done. I don't know how long they're done, but they're done at that point. So we take it very serious. So it's safety, a lot of safety stuff. Make sure they stay in the room, do the right things. So the big thing is safety.
Yeah. You had 4 years of varsity basketball. How do you use that experience to connect with girls at this level?
I think I can kind of, I would say, simplify a lot of the concepts that some of the male coaches throw at them. I mean, for example, we're out there and Coach Enloe's kind of breaking down some of the defenses that we've been working that are kind of new to the girls, and he's like giving them certain terms, and he's kind of showing them the way they do things, and the girls are all kind of looking at him like, dude, you're nuts. I have no idea what you're saying, and this is so complicated. And looking from the outside and having gone through it, I kind of know what they're thinking, and hearing what he's saying, I'm like, okay, there's probably a better way to approach this. So he always gives us a chance. That's what's really nice about it. He gives us a chance to kind of give our input. And so I can kind of explain it to them in a way that they would understand it a little bit better, maybe simplify it for them. And then a lot of them, you can see oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I was thinking about it. I was way overcomplicating it because girls tend to do that.
Sure.
And so I would say that was one of the biggest things. And they kind of come to me if they ever have any issues and that kind of stuff. I feel like it's more comfort to talk to me rather than talk to the guys. So it's just relatable.
Sure. All right, Coach Enloe, relationships with the refs can be complicated. You got to be tough on them when you need to be tough on them, but you also don't want to ruin anything for your girls in the game. So how do you balance that type of relationship with the officials?
Yeah, so being a ref is hard. I refed in college my whole career, and I get it. It's hard. You're always the bad guy. You make a call, and you're always wrong.
Yeah.
So I took my experience on reffing as a coach. So I know when I was reffing and getting yelled at all the time, those 50-50 calls, next time I'd go against the person that just yelled at me. Okay, if the person would talk to me and come up and say, hey, you missed that call, or you missed that call, whatever, then okay, I get it. And then next 50-50 call, I might give. So I've learned in my experience, yelling at the refs not the right way to do it. Talking to them, you probably get more calls that way because they're human too. They're going to make mistakes, and it's just the way the basketball goes. So
Sure.
So just talking to them you'll never see me screaming at a ref. I've never got thrown out of a game and never got a technical. But so just communicating with them, talking to them, having that relationship, I think is the best way to go.
You've never gotten a technical?
Never gotten a technical. I need one soon.
That's pretty good.
I need one soon.
I was going to say.
I need one soon.
Yeah, I know. You're heating up for one. You're getting loose for it. Have you had a tech?
I've not, no.
No? Not at any level. Okay.
Our coaches need to step up a little bit.
What about anything? What about, can assistants, because I know like at different levels, assistants can't like approach the official without like a head being there.
Right. Yeah. So
is that the same thing?
The head coaches always, or the refs always tell the head coaches, you're the only person I'm talking to. So a lot of times I'm going to throw a boat under the bus of it. He got a technical a while back and he yelled at the ref and the ref didn't like it. So Coach Boatwright as an assistant got a technical and so he's got one this year. I think that's the only one we got.
Okay, all right.
Well, I was going to say, though, Boat also kind of beats to his own drum. Yeah. Like, that guy doesn't, there are no rules for Boat, you know? He kind of just makes his own rules, and we kind of crack up because we're like, Boat is our social butterfly of the group. He's the one that's going to, as soon as he walks into the gym, he's going to go find the refs, or he's going to go find somebody that he knows, or he'll make a friend and go and talk to them. And me and Enloe are just like, that could not be us. Like, there's no way. And so, like, I feel like Boat kind of gets away with a lot of, like, talking to the refs because he knows them or he's created a relationship with them.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. Boat, pretty loud guy.
Very loud.
Yes.
Guevara,
Pretty
loud guy.
Yes.
Who can get louder? Have you guys? Let's get a contest going at some point.
I think Boat has
Really?
it.
I don't know. Aaron's voice kind of travels.
Yeah.
It carries
Guevara's,
both of them.
Like,
They're both
got
loud.
this like deep like.
So you guys, they're like your speaker box. You're just like, say this, do it.
Yeah.
No,
No.
no. You got it. You guys can do it yourselves.
We're loud enough
absolutely.
to get the attention. We're not Boat and Guevara loud, but we're loud enough to get their attention.
Okay,
for sure.
Fair enough. All right, so Rylan, you've had two insanely athletic and handsome brothers. Tell me about it. No, I'm joking. Okay, so the atmosphere at the cave has been okay. I feel like this year it's been decent, depending on the game and who we're playing against, that kind of thing. How do you see, Carlsbad becoming an atmosphere like, something that might be somewhere else in the state, that they just get their fans rowdy, students are into it, that kind of thing? What do you think?
How do we create that atmosphere?
Yeah, how do we create that?
I mean, I think you just start by having a really solid foundation of a team. I mean, you start winning games and making all these plays and doing things right.
Yeah.
That's going to attract people because it's like, dang, well, I kind of want to see what's going on. Like, I hear the basketball team's doing really, really well. And, I mean, we kind of call them, like, what is it, fair weather fans, where they're like, that team's doing pretty good. Let's go support them.
Yeah.
And so if teams start winning, like, people want to go out and support them. Or, if they do something really, really big, then they tend to show up.
Sure. Yeah, no, absolutely. And I've seen different like student sections with different kinds of, I guess, mentalities going into it. We've seen the pep rallies here at the school. They're not great, unfortunately. So, Coach, I'll kind of move the question over to you. How do we get something like the band to the games and just get things rowdy? Because we got cheerleaders.
Right, yeah. Yeah, you look at Hobbs, boys and girls, they have the band there. It's loud. I think you just kind of have a student leader, really. I remember Chubbs, when I was in high school, he was that leader. He got newspapers every home game. He got people there. He got them excited. Yeah. And I think just one person steps up and, hey, let's get everybody there and let's get the crowd going. I think that's a good start too. But Coach Rylan's right on point. You got to be successful to get a lot of the fans out because they want to see a successful team and exciting. You got to do well. You got to make shots. You got to do exciting things. Something for people that pay money to go watch.
Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting a band there, and we talk to the band director and get somebody there. I think that's a great idea. So, but yeah, just be successful.
I've got a challenge for you and Coach Zumbrun
Okay.
to create like a spirit squad that does that. There's like 5 or 6 kids, and
Yeah.
they're like the core,
Yeah.
and they, get a sponsor, get kids with, stuff like that.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm in.
All right. Well, you guys do it. I'm not.
Let's do it, but it's your job
Let's
to do it.
you do that actually.
Hey, you're donating the shirts, though. We'll get them shirts.
All right. So build your all-time Cave Girls starting 5, if you can.
Okay, you asked me that question. It's tough. Okay, I've had a lot of good girls go through the program. I think all these 5 went next level. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure. When I got the assistant job in 2015, I think Boswell was what year?
8th grader.
8th grader. So
Yeah.
she's on that team. So my top 5, and they all went next level, would be Boswell, Madiana, Allie, Taylor, and Kalia. And right now, my honorable mention, because she's been killing it this year, is Abby Dugan. I think she'd be that 6'1". She's really been carrying the team or helping the team a lot. So those 6 right there are really impressive basketball players.
Can we get last names so we can?
Oh, let's go.
Coach Gonzales, can you help him?
Oh, you need help?
What's Boswell's first name?
Carson
Boswell, Madiana Sepulveda,
There you go.
Allie Myers, Taylor Edmondson, Kalia Montoya, and Abby Dugan.
Very cool.
My
Very
top
cool.
6.
All right. Very good. All right. So, what are the biggest challenges coming up as we approach district? Obviously, there's still games between then, so there's time to work on things and continue to improve. But what are you guys looking forward to? And obviously, the challenges that are going to arise.
No challenges for district. It's going to be a breeze. No,
Absolutely
obviously,
nothing to worry about.
Obviously, Hobbs, great team. They won
Obviously.
state last year, starting 4 sophomores and a freshman, so they're really, really good and still young.
Wow.
Clovis this year, I think they're ranked. They're ranked 3rd in state right now, so obviously that's good. They're really good. And then Roswell is right with us, so district's gonna be a challenge. It's gonna be a very, very challenging district this year. So hopefully we win a few games. Hopefully looking at the 2 or 3 seed is kind of our goal right now. I mean, obviously want to win district. Being realistic, like Hobbs is gonna be really, really good. So we beat them once, it's gonna be awesome. Beat them twice, it'd be incredible. So. Yeah, just got to play hard. Just got to get better. Every game, every practice, got to get better and be playing your best basketball when district shows up.
So is there any tactics we can use? Let's get the heater going real hot in the visitors' locker room or something like that. No?
Score more points than them.
That's a good
That's it.
concept. Absolutely.
Coach E, what do you got?
I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm like, I definitely couldn't be the prankster. Like, I feel like that would just go against everything that I stand for. I'm like,
Yeah.
You want to like beat them by working harder and doing all that stuff, but I almost feel like when we go over there, it's a little bit shady when they move the benches to the ends and you can't really talk to your players. They're on the opposite side of the court and all that stuff. It's kind of
Would they
like,
move them?
Yeah, so the benches aren't on the sides like every normal basketball game that you go to. They're on the ends
baseline.
of, like the baseline.
But is it on the ends for the home team too?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought, okay.
So it's even, but it's a challenge because you can't coach when they're on the other side of the court and they're used to it. So they already have their set stuff going on and we got to change a lot of stuff. So it's
Can
a
we
challenge.
practice that?
We do.
Oh, you
Practice-
guys
yeah,
put the
yeah.
benches on
Well,
the ends?
Well,
we
I
kind
stand on the baseline and say, hey, if it's over there on the defense side, you're on your own. And if you're on offense, you got to call your own plays. So that's when we really spend a lot of time on our point guard, leading your offense, calling your own plays. Because if they change it up, I mean, they're on their own on that side because they can't hear. And in Hobbs, it's
so
loud.
loud.
It's loud, so they can't hear you at all. So they're kind of on their own down there.
Wow. Okay. All right. So being late, missing practice, forgetting shoes or jerseys, those are some of the things that'll get you in trouble in any sport. So if something like that does happen, what are the consequences or what is the, ensuing penalty for that?
Like you're
For this team?
Okay, missing practice, we get cycles. So cycles is just it's a lot of running, and the girls aren't super.
What is cycles for anyone that doesn't know?
So it's a lot of running. So it's 24 trips, so I'll tell you all the trips. So down, baseline is a trip. So I'll just tell you the trips first. So it's 24, then 12, then 6. Then we call it a pizza, which is a suicide. Full court, half court, full court, then half court. And it's all time time captured or time under tension. So everything's timed, and it's a lot of running. It takes about 15 minutes and running really hard.
Oh, wow.
Really hard,
So
yeah.
it's a challenge, and the girls absolutely hate it.
And that's for missing
They
practice.
hate
That's for
yeah.
missing practice.
And there's no exception.
No exception.
Okay.
And so that's the hard part. Like a lot of times there's gray areas, and we try to keep it black and white. You miss for any reason, and it's not really a consequence. It's you're making up conditioning. So keep it consistent all the way through. No matter why you miss, you're running.
You're making it up to your team.
You're making up to your team.
Gotcha.
You miss a game, it's 3 cycles. So
Okay.
So we kind of hold the standards obviously higher for a game. But yeah, lots of running.
Okay. What about missing gear? Do you guys have like backup gear? Because I'd imagine that happens all the time. I was like 20 forgetting gear myself,
Yeah,
so I get it.
So if they forget gear, it's a board. So what a board is a 2x4 wrapped in a towel, and you push it. It's like a bear crawl. Push it from baseline to baseline, and you got 5 of those. So they're not fun either.
Okay.
The girls hate those
Which
too.
is exactly what they do if they're late as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, okay.
Coach Enloe, you'll hear him say, as soon as you're out here, grab the board when you come out.
And they know.
So
Yeah.
So as far as the equipment goes, do you guys take extra jerseys and stuff on the road because you anticipate that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we take them for if they forget it in blood jerseys. Blood happens a lot of times. So you get bloody
No,
nose and gets on your
yeah.
jersey. And if you got blood in your jersey, you can't play. So we take extra jerseys for that kind of stuff too. So
When we do the broadcast, a lot of times we kind of just put thoughts out there. This is what we think Coach Enloe is going to say at the locker, in the locker room at halftime. We're down 10 points. This is what we're talking about. We're up 5 points. This is what we're talking about. Can you walk me through your halftime routine?
yeah, sure. So as soon as halftime happens, the girls go in. All the coaches stand outside the locker room, and we talk for like 2 or 3 minutes, like
Just
what are
about
y'all-
what's going on that
what's going on. And
weekend.
it's kind of a time.
After game plans.
What are you streaming on Netflix?
Right. Yeah. So no, we take about 2 minutes to kind of collect our thoughts, make sure we're not going in there just yelling at them, screaming at them, collect some thoughts, and talk about what they need to hear at that time. So what they're doing on offense, what they're doing on defense, just in general, X's and O's wise, and then we come together as a group. It's like, let's talk about this and this and this, and we'll go in there, hopefully most of the time calm and collective, and then tell the girls what they need to hear. And then, so it's been good. And then usually I'll talk, and then all the other coaches talk, and everybody gives really good stuff every time.
Okay. And then as like assistant coaches, do you guys calm down Coach Enloe at any point? Like he doesn't ever get text, so we're not worried about the officials, but
yeah. Coach Enloe's not one that's going to get super like worked up anyways. Like he's a pretty like level-headed coach throughout, even if some of us are like freaking out and Coach Boat's giving us the big eyes and, we're all worked up, he's usually just sitting there with his own thoughts, just thinking. And when we go in the locker room, like Coach Enloe usually gives like bigger picture, like this is X's and O's wise, what we can do better. And, all of that bigger picture. And I feel like assistant coaches, we're more like detail oriented. So we're looking at specific players and what they can do to, make this adjustment and do something better or that kind of stuff. So it works really well.
Okay. All right. So this is more, I guess, personalized towards high school because we had Sam and Garen on the podcast last week, and I asked them, what's the hangout spot? What do you guys do? Yeah. And one of the things they said was one of their houses, which is normal, but one of them said Wendy's, which I had never heard, but that's what kids do, I guess. So Wendy's is a spot. What were some spots, if not, one, maybe multiple spots when you were in high school?
I would say a lot of times, all of us would get in one person's car or whatever and go park at Sonic. Like it was like, oh, okay, let's go to Sonic, and we would just go like sit there and just all of us like talk in the car, or something like that. Or another one was Walmart. We would go to Walmart a lot, and
like
we'd go
in
by
the store.
Yeah,
okay.
And we would just walk around. Usually go to like that section where it has those $5 like T-shirts in the like guys section in the back, and they have those like graphic tees and stuff. Buy those all the time. I don't know why that was a thing.
Okay, very good. What about you, Coach?
Yeah, so we hung out a lot.
Don't rope me into this.
So we always hung out at buddy's house, and we're super nerdy and watched a lot of YouTube videos, just laughed and kind of acted dumb. But with my other friends, we'd go Sonic. I had 2 groups of friends. And so I'd go Sonic,
so cool.
Sonic,
yeah,
Sonic.
he is cool.
Just a drag. I think they call it drag. It's kind of before social media.
Really?
went out and you'd go to Sonic, people would hang out in Sonic, and you go to the other Sonic, and just kind of back and forth. Just that's when people just had their cars and just hanging out, just cruising, hanging out. So that's what we did if I wasn't hanging out with you and our guys. So
and our nerds
and our nerd friends.
All right, so the drag, that's before social media. That's so crazy. It's funny because I think we were in the MySpace, Facebook era.
Yeah.
And then we went from there. So that's crazy. Okay. All right. So this is a game called Matchup. First time we've done it. But basically, I'm going to say a noun, and you have to match it up with a player or a staff member on the roster if you can. Okay?
Perfect.
You ready? It looks like you have a cheat sheet ready
I
to
do.
rock. Okay. All right. Energizer Bunny.
Okay, I'd say Abby Dugan.
Okay. Give me some explanation. Come on.
Or Bros, Hayden Bros, Energizer.
Oh,
That girl
absolutely.
goes and goes and goes. So, but yeah.
I think
Why
it's.
Abby?
I mean, because they both can just run for days, and like you don't ever see them like look like they're gassed or tired, and they're both just giving 110 the whole time.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we play Abby a lot, and I always ask Abby, "Are you good?" "Oh yeah, coach, I'm good." I'm like, "I don't know how you're good. You've been busting in for 20 minutes straight,
Yeah.
and without any break." So it's impressive how fast or how much they can go. Both Bros and Abby. It's really impressive.
Yes.
Diva.
I would say the divas on the team would be Becca Brown or Cameron Zumbrun.
Okay.
And it's not like divas as in like in a bad way. Like they're just very like dramatic and animated, and they love to crack jokes and have fun. And so that's why I would consider divas on the team.
So today, they got practice jerseys, and both Zelm and Brown were like, "Coach, we're gonna tell all the girls that you're making us wear the practice shorts, and the practice shorts are like old school, like
long.
long." She's like, "They're like, we're gonna tell all the girls that we got to wear these shorts because Coach Enloe wants us all to come together and just talk about everybody dying laughing. The shorts hurts their shins,
Wow.
and it was like gangster stuff." So yeah, they're definitely divas. But
How long
they're
did
hilarious.
How long did you guys go on that?
The whole practice.
Oh, really?
None of the other girls knew that it was a joke. Like they thought Coach Enloe was being serious about wearing the practice shorts to make everybody look the same. So I was
But in the
dying
game is what the prank was, or
no? It is
just
practice.
for practice.
It was practice.
Yeah, practice. But they're like old school, like 19.
You guys should do that, like a throwback
Yeah.
night. Just like come and
To
see
your
the old
shins.
school.
That'd be awesome.
They
Exactly.
always roast me for that. They'll look at like old pictures of me and go, "Coach G, look at your shorts."
Styles
Like,
change for sure.
all right.
Oh, yeah.
That was a style. Chill out.
Yeah, it's it was very limited back then, where it was like shorts, one size fits all, one length. You
Yeah.
know, shoes were very basic too, and now it's like take your pick, whatever you want. Okay, so a bruise to describe a
me to
player.
It's Corinne.
Corinne.
It
Ah,
has
okay.
to be Corinne.
Yeah, she gets after it, and like the last game, there was a rebound, and she went through over with like 3 people. I'm like, Corinne, like,
Tackled them.
like
Tackled them.
she's a bruiser.
Wow.
Straight up.
She's not afraid of contact, and I'd be afraid of Corinne. She can get after it.
Absolutely.
breaks.
No breaks.
No
No
breaks.
breaks. Not until she falls.
The floor is the
floor,
break.
yes. Yes.
Okay, muscle.
So I think muscle would be Macy. I don't know if you had anybody
Yeah,
different.
which looking at Macy, you wouldn't say she's muscle, but the rebound she gets the ball and rips it from people. It's impressive what Macy
Oh,
can
yeah.
do. Because a lot of times we play her at the 3, down underneath, where she's got to get rebounds from some bigger girls, and she rips it from people. I look at her, I don't know how, but she.
Well, yeah, her size compared to like other teams, like, other teams are up here and Macy's down here, and she's meaner than they are, man. She goes in there and she just rips it from them, and she looks at them like, "Yeah, I just took that ball from you," and we're like, "Heck yeah, we'll take it."
Okay. All right. What about speaker?
So I would say the speakers are Boat and Guevara. They're just
Okay.
so loud that it just,
No.
I don't know where it comes from, but
I would say I'm a great speaker, always. No, I'm just kidding. No, honestly, what's really impressive, excuse me, Abby always prays before games and when we eat and stuff, and it's really impressive on her knowledge and the way she speaks and stuff. Like every time she prays, I'm like, man, that's really, really good. So I'd say Abby, like as an actual speaker in front of people, she's really good.
Okay. Two different
no, I
definitions.
was
of
gonna
it.
say, I was thinking like bumping music, like loudspeaker. I'm
Right,
thinking
yeah.
coaches.
It's funny. I have a story with Coach Enloe, actually. I think I have an embarrassing moment for you speaking, but then I have one for me too. So when I was in high school, they had me do announcements at the assembly, at one of the assemblies, a pep rally, and he was on the football team, and the football team was all in the front, and I had like a note card of what I was gonna say, and I don't know how I got through it because I couldn't. Yeah, exactly. I couldn't read it because it was literally I was shaking
I
that
remember
bad.
looking at you. I was like, "Are you all right?" You're like, "I'm good." I'm
Yeah, yeah. So that was pretty bad. That was like one of my most embarrassing moments. And then for Coach Enloe, I think one of the ones that I thought was funny. It might not have been embarrassing to you, but it was I think your first speech, like your first banquet. It was at the, what is it called? The, gosh darn it. It's over there by that new McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
It's like a church or something, isn't it?
It's like a veterans.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh darn, I can't remember the
But
name.
it was Rylan's senior year.
Yeah, the American Legion. That's what it was.
yeah.
It was Rylan's senior year.
Oh, you could have
It was
just
at the
said that.
banquet, and they were like, "Okay, Coach Enloe, now you're gonna talk." And he was like, "Oh gosh."
Can I back up a little bit?
Yeah, go for it.
So Coach Zumbrin, so I have this whole like list of things I want to talk about, and then Coach Zumbrin, right before I get up there, he's like, "Enloe, you got 30 seconds." And so in my mind, I'm trying to race through all this stuff, what's important, what's not important, and then I remember saying stuff and being all over the place. I remember looking up at Rylan. She was just like this. like I was all over the place. So it was very embarrassing. But I do blame Zumbrin for that.
Sure, blame it on Zumbrin. He was not prepared.
I was just glad that 5 years later after my stint, you had one.
Yeah,
So I was
yeah.
like, good. I got you now. All right, the next one is shoe shopper, or maybe like a shopping cart, maybe.
Jazz.
Jazz?
1,000%.
Okay.
She has
Like a sneakerhead type
of
million-
person?
She has like 9 million
100%.
shoes.
9 million shoes.
At least.
Wow.
Well,
Does she bust them
LeBron's
out?
No, it's LeBron's. She's obsessed with LeBron, loves LeBron. I think she said she has like 25 pairs
Wow.
of LeBron's.
And that's all she wears in the games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think she wears the same ones in games. Like she wears different ones all the time. I mean, if you
That's
have 25
crazy.
different pairs, heck yeah, I would too.
Right?
I was gonna say because I think you can look those up. They're pushing like 150 a
Oh,
pair. I mean,
easy.
that's. I don't think I spent 150 in 5 years on shoes.
Same.
We're shopping deals. Okay, last one is textbook.
So I'm taking textbook as in like players who are just like smart in general, like
Okay.
smart people.
Sure.
And I would say Josie Tindorf and Faith Klusner. Like you just talk to them, and sometimes I'm like, I think you're smarter than me. You need to like go away.
Give me a break.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. New subject.
Well, the cool thing about our team is I think probably out of our 14 girls on the roster, I think probably 10 of them have all A's, which is awesome. Like I bet our GPA is over 4.0. We've got a really, really smart group. They're awesome kids. Okay, we need some work on our skills, but they're such a fun group. We're always laughing, even after losses, and everybody's upset, and then they do something
guy
funny or
gets mad.
stupid, and then it's hard to be mad at them for so long because they're so funny and they're such good kids.
Yeah.
They work so hard, so it's been a really good group. But they're so smart. Every single one of them. They're writing poems on the way back from games. They're like, hey, I just wrote this poem. I'm like, on the way
I just
back
I just wrote this formula out.
I'm like, it's crazy how smart those girls are. So it's been fun.
It's crazy.
You know, our girls, they're just awesome kids.
Well, I mean,
Very cool.
Josie, like I was talking to her the other day, and she was like, "Yeah, coach, I'm reading 11 books right now." I'm sorry, what? 11 books.
Dang.
How do you even? You know what? You go, girl.
I know I saw a meme of a kid that it said I read 100. What did it say? I read like 100 or 200 books or something like that, and it's just like, where's the proof at?
Yeah.
So she's got to show you proof of her
Well,
reading those
she
11
pulled
books.
out at least 3 from her bag
Oh,
whenever she
wow.
was telling me about it, and I was like, I believe you. You don't have to show me proof.
Dang, that is crazy. Okay. So one of the biggest parts of being a coach is being in charge of the finances and that kind of thing. So, with your booster club, you guys have to get gear for the girls throughout the year. Shoes weren't on the list this year, I guess. So
No, they weren't.
what came in the package of gear?
So in the past, I've always done the gear, and the girls hate it because my fashion is awful. So I let Coach G.
Fashion's awful.
So
Nobody would object to that.
Wow.
so Coach G took charge this year, and what'd you get? What'd you get them?
So I kind of talked to the girls, and I was like, look, none of you wear the shoes ever. So are we going to waste money and buy everybody a pair of shoes, and 2 people for JV and varsity are wearing the shoes? Or do we not buy shoes for the team, and you guys can maybe get an extra jacket, an extra pair of sweats, different stuff like that? what are you willing to kind of give to get, you
Yeah.
know? And so, you know, in talking to some of the girls, you know, they didn't want shoes. Instead, we got an extra sweatshirt. We got Crocs. They wanted Crocs, Team Crocs.
Oh, okay.
We got some sweats. They were going to scrap those, but since we didn't get the shoes, we could pay for the sweats. And short sleeve shirt, long sleeve shirt, and hoodies. So,
Okay. And then the coaches got swag. You guys got coach shoes? Some dunks
yeah,
this year, right?
Nike Dunks.
Those are the first like real pair of shoes I think Coach Enloe's had.
Ever.
Absolutely.
All right. So one of the things that I would say is a bad quality about Coach Enloe
Oh gosh.
Wow.
is that he has been with Android since Motorola Razrs were hot. Why haven't you made the switch out of Android?
Honestly, I just like getting people upset. Everybody wants a group message, and then they're like, "Oh, your bubble turns green when you're." I don't even know what that means, but I know it annoys you, so it makes my day. So I honestly
Me
don't
specifically.
you specifically. So I don't change just because I like to grind on some people. So
Sure.
I think it's pretty awesome.
Well, I will say though, he always sits there and goes, "Gosh, Androids suck. You sent me that picture
don't
and it's
say
blurry. Can you send it to me through Snapchat?" No. You know what? You chose that
need
phone.
to
You're gonna
record.
live with the blurry picture.
You need to record him saying that for sure. All right, so we need to get to state. We need to go to the state tournament. How are we going to do that? What are the main points we're looking at?
So really, it
focusing on?
comes down to district. I think
Okay.
if we get second district, obviously first we're automatically in. Second district, I think we're looking at like the 7 to 10 seed. Third, we're looking at like 14 to 16 seed. If we get fourth in district, we probably don't have a chance. So obviously we got to win some of these games. We got 4 more games, I believe, before district. We got to win some of those, obviously, and then we just got to do good in district to give
Sure.
ourselves a chance. And I think if we get second district, get a home game, that'd be awesome. And then you get to the pit after you win that first game, anything can happen. So we got a long ways to go, but I think these girls, they have it all. We have size, we have skill. We just got to come together and put 4 quarters together. We played Portales and we're winning the entire game, lost in overtime, and they're like ranked like 8 overall in New Mexico. So we have pieces. We just got to figure out how to come together and do our roles, and I think we'll be just fine.
So what is one of the things or a couple of things that you're in practice focusing on and saying, okay, if we can straighten this and this out,
Yeah.
we're going to be an okay.
Well, really, it comes down to just making shots. We struggle with scoring. If they take away Abby and Jazz, then we just some are role players, some people that need to hit shots. If they hit some shots, we can beat anybody. So we just got to figure out who can score a little bit, and it depends on what kind of defense they run. If they're running a zone, then different roles expand for some people. If they run man, then different roles change for other people. So it depends on who we play, on whose roles are going to be bigger, and then we just got to execute. And we're kind of struggling right now against man. So we've been just practicing a lot against man, executing. And once we figure that out, I think we'll be a really good team.
Awesome. All right, folks. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. Definitely appreciate it. All right. So thank you guys for watching the podcast. This is the All Sports Best podcast sponsored by Lucky Bull Grill. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.